Hey, what's up, guys? Just want to make a quick video talking about Battlefield Hardline and my initial thoughts of the game. So for those of you guys who don't know, there's a new game coming out called Battlefield Hardline, which had information and I believe video gameplay leaked. I don't know if it was officially given out. I think it was leaked. But I heard about this, I think, a couple days ago, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, there's going to be a SWAT game. I also heard that there was going to be Bad Company 3, and yeah, it's kind of like, oh, okay. But Battlefield Hardline, again, I watched the gameplay for it. I checked Wikipedia just to see if there was anything on it, and really it's just a very basic synopsis. I'll put the links for everything in the description so you guys can check out the gameplay. You can check out the website, which right now they just have a thing that says Battlefield Hardline unveiling June 9th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. I believe PDT. I'm assuming that's Pacific. Well, I guess PST might be Pacific. I'm not sure. Just says 12 p.m. PDT. So, whatever that is. And you can watch it online at ea.com/E3. So, apparently they're going to announce some stuff for it at E3. Like I said, though, if you want to get the early, look on the game, I'll have the gameplay trailer link in the description. So from what I saw in the trailer, I'm just going to give you a basic rundown of what I thought after watching that trailer. And you can watch the trailer if you're interested or whatever. The graphics definitely are not as good as Battlefield 4, but I don't think that's a negative. A, because this is an early build, and B, it doesn't look like it's marketed through Frostbite 3, and I believe if they were to even put Frostbite 2, it'd look really bad, for marketing's sake. So I think EA kind of bit themselves in the ass with that. I really don't know what they're going to use, what engine they're using. But the graphics, they look like they're in a really early stage, so I don't think that's going to be the final look of the game. But it does kind of pose some questions, how come the graphics don't look like quite as good? And not to say that I'm someone that cares about graphics, but you really got to question it. Why doesn't it doesn't even look as good as Battlefield 3. It really doesn't. So, like I said, I assume that is it's just sort of a basic build of the game. So I'm not going to judge it based on that yet, but I do just want to let you know that is in there. So if you guys are expecting this to have some kind of engine like Frostbite 4, or they continue to use Frostbite 3, they're not. The other thing I want to talk about is this is kind of like how Medal of Honor 2010 was released, in the sense that they're going to have two developers for it. With Medal of Honor, I believe it was Danger Close and DICE, and DICE did the multiplayer while Danger Close did, I think, everything else. They did the graphics, like the modeling and all that, and they did the single player. Same thing goes here, except instead of Danger Close, it's going to be Visceral Games, who did games like Dead Space, which I haven't played very much of. They did Dante's Inferno, which I have, which was okay, I guess. And they did, I believe, the Army of Two games. I think they did all of them. And, from what Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel looks like, I was hoping that they could make it look kind of like that, in the sense that, okay, maybe if they have to use Frostbite 2 again, that wouldn't bother me. But, like I said, I'm just talking about the graphics real quick here. But, Visceral Games, from in their earlier stages, like with Army of Two the 40th Day, I remember they had a lot of explosion problems. They looked like shit. But they seem to have fixed that with Frostbite 2, with Devil's Cartel. So, I don't know what engine they're running on this. I don't think it's said anywhere. I haven't found anything yet, so I don't know if they're just running their own kind of engine or what. But, like I said, I guess that can't be judged yet. But if you wanted to know that, there you go. It does say in the trailer that Visceral Single Player is what it says as the title card. So, like I said, we can only deduce and assume that Visceral is going to be doing the single player, and DICE is going to do the multiplayer. Now, as far as weapons go, They're gonna have just like your basic, run of the mill guns, like well, and I'm not confirming these guns, but I'm just saying, you'll have your run of the mill assault rifles like an M16, I'm sure, and your run of the mill pistols like the 1911, I'm sure. But then they talked about like, okay, we're also gonna have futuristic guns, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're gonna have, some made up stuff. So I don't know how far in the future this is set. If this is gonna be like a Black Ops 2 game or something. Even though I haven't played Black Ops 2, I'm just saying maybe that's the kind of feel they're going for with this. But the game is supposed to be kind of like a SWAT game, which seems like it could be cool. They have tasers that they said they were going to offer in the game, which I thought was kind of interesting. I wonder what they're going to do with that. Maybe that's going to be your melee weapon instead of a knife. I don't know. I didn't really get a. I don't think they showed anything with the tasers, from what I remember. So maybe that's just not shown yet, but they talked about it. They also talked about the vehicles you can drive, which was they had a muscle car they showed, and it looked like some big ass like F-350 diesel or something with like a bed on the back and smokestacks. They had something like that in the trailer, so I'm not really sure what all you can drive. Again, this is just sort of an early trailer, so. But other than that, they talked about some squad mechanics, but they don't say how many people are in your squad. So, again, I think more information will come out around June 9th. So, hopefully, we can find out some more information on that. Me personally, I wasn't a big fan of Battlefield 4. I didn't like how buggy it was. So, again, I'm still going to take this one with a grain of salt. I'm probably not going to buy it instantly, but, I do have some interest in it, unless it just completely gets panned, by user reviews. I'm not going to judge mainstream reviewers. I never do that, because a lot of people said Battlefield 4 was a great game, and then you got to it, and it was a buggy mess. So, that was kind of unfortunate, and I actually didn't get Battlefield 4 on launch. I actually got it with my graphics card for free, so because I wasn't about to pay for a game like that, with all the problems everybody said it had. So again, visually, Battlefield 4 I think looks nice. It sounds good. It's got decent speech, but the gameplay I just don't think was there, and it was a very buggy game on release. I still think it has some bugs here and there. I think for the most part it is fixed. But I still personally prefer Battlefield 3, and even more so Bad Company 2. That's just me, though. In case those of you who are watching this don't know what I am interested in as far as the Battlefield franchise is concerned. So, I think that's about it. I think that's where I'm going to wrap this up. There's just not much more to say. Again, check out the trailer link that I'll have in the description, so you guys can check out the gameplay and tell me what you guys think. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it looks innovative? Do you think it looks like shit? Let me know. I'd love to hear both sides, because I'm sort of indifferent on it. I think it has potential. I liked Warfighter. I know there are a lot of people who didn't. I think a lot of people took it out of context. I thought it had some great things with it, but again, I don't think it had enough content to support its lifespan. It only had one expansion. So again, hopefully Battlefield Hardline, hopefully it's good enough, and hopefully it doesn't end up like Medal of Honor Warfighter, where it was just kind of, shunned away, because I actually thought that was a decent game. Again, it wasn't Game of the Year or anything, but I thought it was decent, and it was just a game I don't think that got enough attention. And here's Battlefield 4, and I think it got a little too much attention, and it was a broken mess. So, that's just me anyway. I don't think there's anything else I can input for Battlefield Hardline. I guess, and I'll go ahead and throw this in as a final input. Do you guys think that this is going to be kind of like Call of Duty? Like where, okay, we're going to change hands with developers. Do you think this is going to be one of those games where it's like, okay, now EA has a yearly first-person shooter, a yearly Battlefield, like Call of Duty has kind of like a yearly game? How they were changing to Treyarch, then Infinity Ward, then Treyarch, then Infinity Ward. Do you think it's going to be visceral and full on dice, visceral full on dice. What do you guys think? So again, that's some food for thought as well. Just write me a comment, tell me what you think, and that's all I've got to say. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.